interpretation is the next one. And you know, I said earlier, there's a couple of things on this score sheet that are easy scores, easy points. And I'm telling you now, this is one of them. And the way that I look at category interpretation, and most of us in the industry, basically, does it meet the category requested? Not is it a good one, not is it a bad one. Has nothing to do with as much as is it a good design or not. It has, is it recognizable as what was requested? Meaning that if you were asked to create a boutonniere, is it recognizable as a boutonniere? Does it meet that category? Now, if you did a boutonniere with a bow on it, that does not meet the category as a boutonniere. That would be a corsage. So this is an easy point here. So we want to talk about, a lot of times people will say, well, you asked for a bud vase, they gave you a bud vase. Well, we did ask for a bud vase, but there was a little bit more to that scenario. And we created a sample scenario, and I wanted to read it for you so you'll know what we're talking about based on the designs that I'm showing you. The scenario is for a young girl in the hospital having her tonsils removed, and we want to send her some flowers to cheer her up. The customer has requested that they be fun, funky, and youthful, okay? So there is multiple things that you have got to achieve to make that strong point in category interpretation, not just a design itself. So we created 3 different bud bases. Okay, and I will let you see them here. Okay, and we're going to talk about each one. This is a bud vase of a Gerber daisy. Absolutely perfect execution. Is it recognizable as a bud vase? Yes. That's one check mark. Does it look youthful? Yeah, it looks youthful because Gerber daisies are very youthful. The ribbon is very youthful because it has a lot of trims on it. But is it funky and fun? It looks very traditional to me. So I'm not comparing these. Let's go back to what I said earlier. We're not lining hogs up here and saying, okay, move this one first, second, and third. We're not placing them like that. We're going to set this aside and we're going to evaluate this one on its own merits only. And however the numbers fall, that's how they fall. So being this is youthful here and there, but it's not fun and funky. So under category interpretation, I would probably give it an average, okay? This would be an average. I'm not saying it's bad, but it didn't quite meet that category. All right, so we're gonna move on to the next one. This one is a Gerber as well. One thing that makes it fun is there's some glitter ribbon here. You probably can't see it up close, but there's a little bit of shimmer. A little bit of shimmer on that ribbon. That's a little youthful, okay, fun. Then they put a metallic butterfly. That's a little youthful there. The thistle, it's a little funky because of the way it's made. But yet it's still not all 3 items that I would consider totally youthful. So with that, I would probably say this may be an average to above average category, okay? And then we have this one rolls in. And this one has a little bit more. It has the stock added. We have feathers added. We have the glitz ribbon. And we even have a jeweled butterfly. You can see that in the center. This is definitely youthful, funky, and fun because of the feathers and things. So in category interpretation, this one, I would probably give a 4 to a 5. So you can see where there's different versions. And if we're talking about design as a whole, there's nothing wrong with any of them, but we're focusing on category interpretation. And you may argue with me and say, Randy, you asked for a bud vase. You got a bud vase, so it met the category. Well, that's just one part of the category description. If it was generic and it just said create a Gerber Daisy bud vase and there was no other instructions involved, then all three of these would meet the criteria for that category and they would all get a 4 or 5. For me, this one definitely would get a minimum of a 4 if it didn't get a 5. And that's why I'm telling you folks, every point counts, and this is easy category interpretation. And I know you may say, Randy, but that's a lot of elements going on there. Yes, it is, but that's what our scenario is, okay? And so therefore, they were given, all three competitors were given the same materials. They just chose to use these materials and they did not. So you want to, another element is train your students to read that scenario more than one time. You're nervous, you're anxious, sit down, read it once, then go back and read it again because you're going to miss something. So I hope that helps you on category interpretation.